Let's take a look at polynomial inequalities with the help of a TI-82 calculator. Let's take a look at our first problem here. Okay, so we got x squared plus 4x minus 5 is less than 0. Okay, let me come over here and solving polynomial inequalities. Step 1, get everything on the left side, 0 on the right side. Talking about terms, of course. Step 2, factor the left side, set each factor equal to 0, and solve. And these are your critical values. Note, you may have to use the quadratic formula instead of factoring it. Step 3, using the x-axis, the critical values, not that I can spell critical, critical, there you go, values, and the graph, then determine the answer. Less than or equal to, the answer is below the x-axis. And let me fix that. Okay. There we go. If you got a greater than or equal to, your answer is above the x-axis. There we go. Now, if you got a less than or greater than, you're going to use parentheses. If you got less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you'll use brackets. There we go. Now let me make that a little bit smaller so you can see it. All on the screen at one time, that is. Okay. Let's use those steps for this problem. First step, get everything on the left side, 0 on the right side. That's done. Step 2, factor the left side. This factors using the PSD method. Factors as x plus 5 times x minus 1 is less than 0. It says set each factor equal to 0 and solve. So we'll set x plus 5 equal to 0, and we'll set x minus 1 equal to 0. And that gives us x is equal to negative 5, and x is equal to positive 1. I guess that was step 2, what we just did there. Okay, step 3. Using the x-axis, critical values, and graph. Well, here's your x-axis. Our first critical value is negative 5, which is right here. Our second one is 1, which would be right here. Now these split them into intervals. So I got this right here. Clear over here is negative infinity, and clear over here is positive infinity. So this first interval is negative infinity to negative 5. This next one is negative 5 to 1, and this last one is 1 to positive infinity. Well, let's go graph this and see what it looks like on our calculator. Okay, so go to y equals cleared, clear out whatever's there. Then my x key, x squared plus 4x minus 5, and then press graph. Now you're going to notice something. The graph crosses at my critical value. See how it crosses at negative 5 and 1? So I'm going to sketch this on here, and it doesn't have to be precise. It probably is a little bit better if it's not precise in some cases. Okay, so the graph's going to look like this. Again, it's crossing my x-axis at negative 5 and 1. Now this problem's a less than. Less than, we say the answer is below the x-axis. So I'm looking where my graph is below the x-axis. Well, it's above here, and it's above here, but this part of the graph right here is below my x-axis. So this is going to be my answer. So it's going to go from negative 5 to 1. That's my interval. Now, less than down here says we're going to use parentheses, which means I put parentheses around these. If that had been less than or equal to would mean brackets, so I would have put brackets around these. Let's take a look at our second problem. We got x to the third plus 7x squared minus 4x minus 28 is less than 0. Okay, let's go to our steps. First step, get everything on the left side, 0 on the right side. That's done. Step 2, factor the left side. Well, this is going to factor with grouping. Grouping will group first two terms together, group last two terms together. Now, first two terms have an x squared in common, so I factor that out, and that leaves me x plus 7. Second group have a negative 4 in common. They're both divisible by 4. My first term is negative, and that gives us x plus 7. Now, our goal with grouping is to get this parentheses the same as this, which they are. So I can now factor out the x plus 7, and that's going to leave us x squared minus 4. X squared minus 4. Well, this will be dots. Difference two squares. Two terms with a minus string it. And that's going to factor as x plus 2 times x minus 2 less than 0. Okay, factor left side. We just did that. Set each factor equal to 0. Well, we're going to set the x plus 7 equal to 0. We'll set the x plus 2 equal to 0. And we'll set the x minus 2 equal to 0. And then solve them. So that gives us x equals negative 7, x is equal to negative 2, and x is equal to positive 2. Okay, step 3. Using our x-axis. Try it again. I was moving my mouse over when I was doing that. I don't shake that bad yet. Okay, my smallest critical value is negative 7. So here's negative 7. My next one's negative 2. So that's negative 2. And then next one's positive 2. Now this isn't lined up in the correct place. We don't care. All we're trying to do is identify above and below. And this splits it into intervals. Like that. Keep in mind, clear over here is negative infinity. Clear over here is positive infinity. Now we're going to go graph this and see what it looks like. Okay, so I press my y equals, press my clear. I'm going to do an x to the third, so I do x, and then caret 3, plus 7x squared, 7x, and then x squared, minus 4x, minus 28, and then press graph. You should see it cross your critical values. If you don't, then you did something wrong. Negative 7, negative 2, positive 2. Okay, so it looks like it's going up, reaching a high point, coming back down, coming down here, reaching a low point, turning around, come back up. So if I were to sketch this, sketch it really poorly, this is basically what it's going to look like. You'll find that, well, there you go. You'll find that by skewing it like that, you're going to see your answer easier anyway than to do this. Okay. This problem is a less than. Less than, we say our answer is below the x-axis. So I'm looking where my graph is below the x-axis. Well, it's below here. And it's also below here. Well, this interval is negative infinity to negative 7. And this one is negative 2 to positive 2. Now, a less than says that we're going to use parentheses. So put parentheses around these, parentheses on this. Infinities always have parentheses on them. And then if you have two or more intervals, you put union symbols in between them to connect them together. And that would be our answer. Now, if I go to my website, www.mathheals.com, you can find more YouTube videos. There'll be a link here for graphing calculators. I probably will change that to say graphing calculators / technology. If I click that, it'll bring up different subjects. And you see college algebra. I'll click that. And this is where you can find more videos on various subjects for the graphing calculator. And I'm slowly building this up. I'm going to eventually have every calculator out here. So if you're in college algebra and you're trying to use technology, then this is one resource that have everything on it. Now back here on my main site where it says math class information, I'll probably change that to say course lectures at some point, but those are full video lectures. The same lecture you'd see in my classroom, same explanation, everything is out here in YouTube format. So you can go watch those if you're struggling with something in college algebra. And if I click that, it'll bring this up, and then I could go into college algebra and see the various topics. And YouTube video is the one you want to go into. I'll eventually get rid of the WebEx video. Those are too large, take forever to download. This was, let me bring up my calculator. This was Polynomial Inequalities using a TI-82 graphing calculator.